My name is Michael Morrow. I'm a filmmaker based in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Primarily do documentary television for National Geographic, History Channel, Discovery Channel, Outdoor Life Network, and also do commercials, music videos. It's been a privilege and an honor to be able to tell stories for a living and travel the world and see places that I probably wouldn't otherwise be able to see. Unfortunately, during the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of my production was shut down, so I had the opportunity to sharpen the saw, expand the storytelling toolkit, learn some 3D programs that I think will help me tell the stories that I want to tell. Finding some of these new tools open up the ability for a small team or an individual to be able to tell stories at a larger scale. So the music video for Canadian artist Vicky Ray for Radar Love Records is just that. It's a girl on a hover bike searching a futuristic city to try to find another human being, and she just finds a horde of robots. And then using the power of dance, sways them to her side. And that's basically what it is. When I pitched it to the team, they thought I was insane. They're like, we have a micro budget and we don't have a lot of time. How the hell are you gonna do this? So, and at the time, I didn't know how to do it specifically. I knew it could be done, but I personally didn't necessarily know how to do everything. But I'm like, yeah, okay, we'll kind of leap and hope the net appears, right? So the first test that I did, I made a digital double of Vicky using Character Creator 3, brought that into iClone and did just a dance test. And for my own purposes to see if I could do it. It turned out a lot better than I expected. I shared it with the team and they were blown away. We were greenlit. So we filmed the live action elements of the music video in basically a garage. With 4 people, myself, my director of photography, a makeup artist, and a playback person who happened to be the director of photography's daughter. So micro crew, and it was basically Vicky on a bicycle that was on a bike stand in front of a green screen. And we were just making the most of what we had. Russell, the director of photography, was super inventive with the lighting. We did have some references with some rear screen projections of some of the digital backgrounds that I created just for supplemental lighting and getting the angles that we needed to tell the story that I had blocked out in a shot list and some storyboarding. The key thing on that day was getting Vicky's performance, encouraging Vicky's personality and character to come through in that performance, to shine as the future star that we all think that she is. Beautiful, that was great. Okay. The next phase, I brought the material into Final Cut, did an initial cut for performance only, so it was just Vicky and the green screen. That took less than a day. Once the performance selects were made, I ported everything over to DaVinci Resolve. Every shot that we had in this music video was a special effects shot. Some of those shots would be composites with Vicky in the foreground interacting in the 3D space, and some of those shots were just full-on 3D environments. And I was learning Unreal Engine at the time. Fortunately, Unreal Engine has a very, very good online video tutorial system. So I was able to get up to speed pretty quick, building the characters and refining Vicky's digital double in Character Creator 3 was pretty intuitive. I think maybe I did like 1 tutorial on just the basic interface. Once I got into it, it was like playing a sandbox. You have to understand that rigging characters, building 3D characters, animating 3D characters, all this is new to me. When I was initially learning some 3D programs in Blender, I did a program where you build a robot and then you rig the robot and then you animate the robot. Learned a ton in that course, but it is a daunting task to take a character, rig it from scratch, and then animate it. Fortunately, in Character Creator 3, every time you make a character, it's already rigged and it's already weight painted and it's ready for animation. So sending it to iClone to animate, you just push a button, it pops over. It's awesome. Once I had the stuff in iClone, there was a couple of custom animations that I needed to do. I needed Vicky on her bike, leaning as if she'd be going around corners and stuff. I was able to figure that out and do that pretty quickly. Sending that character from iClone to Unreal Engine wasn't quite as easy as going from Character Creator to iClone. There's two plugins that kind of saved my bacon on this, which are iClone to Unreal Auto Setup, which is genius. Once you have both plugins set up in both applications, you hit a button and it ports the character, materials, everything, so you have a one-to-one character in Unreal Engine, the same as you do in iClone. It's amazing. The second plugin that I used quite extensively on this project was the iClone to Unreal Live Link. Once you have the character in Unreal, you can connect the two programs together, and then any animation that you have in iClone will basically be mirrored in Unreal Engine, and then within Unreal Engine you can record that action in those animations. So you get the benefit of all the real-time rendering aspects of Unreal Engine. By using those two plugins, it saved hours, if not days, of fiddling around. Now, I still had to figure it out. I still did a lot of fiddling around, but it made this project doable for a single person with high aspirations trying to create a project of this scope. Once I kind of figured out that initial process, that sort of workflow of A, B, C, D, it all became really fun. The song is fun. The song has a great energy to it. So for the big finale, I wanted to have a bunch of robots dancing along with Vicky. And dancing robots, come on, dancing robots are pretty fun. So to get the robots to dance, I relied pretty heavily on ActorCore's extensive AAA library of motion capture animations. Was able to find everything I needed pretty easily. ActorCore is super well organized, and the cool thing is when you pick your animations, you can choose which software package you want to use. I picked Unreal Engine because many of my robots that I had purchased, I purchased on the Unreal Engine marketplace, and many of these 3D assets had the Unreal Engine skeleton already associated with them. A couple of months earlier, I had no idea what I was doing in this program, and now I'm making robots dance. I thought that was kind of cool. Anyways, you know, I guess I'm easily amused. The whole process of creating a character in Character Creator 3 to doing some rudimentary animations in iClone, bringing everything into Unreal Engine, getting real-time feedback, building a city, these are things that I was not able to do a year ago. And with these tools and the ability to create these worlds and create a project of this scale is something that's just really inspiring and really encouraging, and I feel like I'm just scraping the surface. So thank you, Reallusion, thank you, Epic Games, and I look forward to using your tools to create some really cool projects in the future.